Okay, here are my UFC 110 predictions. Takes place this Saturday in Sydney, Australia. With main event Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira versus Cain Velasquez. Co-main event Wanderlei Silva versus Michael Bisping. Let's get this going. Preliminary bouts first. I got Igor Pokrajac versus James Huna. I think Huna gets caught. Pokrajac third round submission. Lytle versus Brian Foster. Foster unanimous decision. Goran Reljic versus CB Dollaway. I do see Reljic showing some cage rest in the first round, but CB Dollaway, when he takes Reljic down in the second round, he's going to get caught in something. So I'm going to say Goran Reljic, second round submission. Stephan Bonnar versus Krzysztof Soszynski. Soszynski, unanimous decision just because I think he's going to be more aggressive. The cage control, he's going to back up Bonnar. And the eyes of the judges, that's not a good thing. So Krzysztof Soszynski, unanimous decision. The Australian fight, I guess you could say, for the fans. Elvis versus Chris Haseman. I'm going to say Sinosic first round submission. So, there you go. Now to the main bouts. Mirko versus Ben Rothwell. Both coming off of lackluster performances, I guess. Okay, they lost pretty badly. Krokop losing to Junior Dos Santos. Ben Rothwell just getting destroyed by Cain Velasquez. I think Krokop making an impact in the heavyweight division is done with. I think that window's closed. I think that window closed when he lost to Gonzaga. Even though he did beat Congo, but I still think when he lost to Gonzaga, that window closed. Rothwell, I think, still has a little bit of a chance. I think I think Rothwell's going to win this fight. I think he's going to get inside of Krokop. I think he's going to get in the clinch game. I think he's going to push Krokop to the cage, and if not early first round, mid first round, he's going to get the takedown. And I think he's going to start ground and pound. And it's just going to continue to come. And I think Krokop's going to not know what to do. And it's going to be a late first round TKO. So Ben Rothwell gets the takedown mid first round, starts ground and pound, and then gets the victory. Late first round TKO. Next one, Jardine versus Ryan Bader. Good fight, I think. Could be a little boring, but fight-wise, I think they're pretty equal. Jardine obviously has brutal leg kicks, okay cardio, but has a huge questionable chin. Ryan Bader, his stand-up is a little shaky, but he does have power in those hands, and his wrestling is awesome. So we have not seen much of Jardine on his back, jiu-jitsu-wise. And in this fight, I think Ryan Bader is going to want to take it to the ground, even though Jardine does have a questionable chin and Bader does have power in his hands. I really don't think Bader wants to mess with Jardine's leg kicks. They're probably close to one of the best probably in the light heavyweight division. They're really good. I don't think Bader wants to mess with those, so I think he's going to take Jardine down very early in the first round, and he's going to continue to do that all 3 rounds. I think Jardine will have no answer for that, but I do not see Bader finishing Jardine, so I'm going to go Ryan Bader, unanimous decision over Jardine. Joe Stevenson versus George Sotiropoulos. A lot of people aren't giving Sotiropoulos enough credit, I guess. A lot of people are just thinking Joe Stevenson's going to run through him. I don't think so. I think Sotiropoulos has a great chance to win this fight. He has his best part of his game is his jiu-jitsu, and in this fight, it seems like it's being underrated. It's like, Joe Stevenson's just going to run through him. Doesn't matter where the fight goes. I think Sotiropoulos has a great chance of winning this fight. Do I think he's going to win it? No. Joe Stevenson, before BJ Penn, and especially after, has improved every aspect of his MMA game. Stand-up, cardio, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, every aspect he's improved on. And I think it's going to show in this fight. I do think he's going to get close. I think Sotiropoulos is going to get close on the submission, and because Joe Stevenson has improved all aspects of his game, he's going to get out of it. So, with that said, I don't think Joe Stevenson is going to run through George Sotiropoulos. I don't think he's going to finish him, but I think he's going to win a decision. So Joe Stevenson, unanimous decision over George Sotiropoulos. But I would not doubt, there could be an upset here, so just watch. Next one, the co-main event, Wanderlei Silva versus Michael Bisping. This fight goes either 2 ways. Michael Bisping learned from his mistakes in his past 2 fights, which was he's good east to west. When he moves east to west, he's great. He's fine. But when he moves north to south, it's like he doesn't learn. Before his knockout lost to Henderson in the first round, he would come in, he'd move east to west, move away from Dan Henderson, make Dan Henderson chase him, and then he'd come in and go boom, 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 and then he'd come out with his hands down and his chin up. Dan Henderson did not catch him until the second round, and even in the second round, Henderson caught him when he was backing up. So when he fought Dennis Cain, that's what he did. He came in, boom, got caught, and lost the first round. So if he does that against Wanderlei Silva, he's not going to survive it like he did against Cain. Wanderlei hits a lot harder than Dennis Cain and hits a lot faster. So with that said, if Bisping stays on the outside, does what he does best, moves east to west, makes Wanderlei chase him, then I do think he's going to win. But I don't see that happening. I think he hasn't learned from his mistakes. I'm going to go Wanderlei Silva first round KO. Very similar to what happened with Dennis Cain in the first round, but this time it's going to end the night. Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira versus Cain Velasquez, the main event. Very hard to predict because they're both such great fighters. I think Cain Velasquez isn't getting enough respect from MMA fans. A lot of people think that he's getting too much exposure. He's been thrown in too soon. But you know what? I think he's improved himself. I think he showed himself very well. He's had dominant performances over Czech Congo, Ben Rothwell. Every fighter he's fought, he's been very impressive. Even in the Czech Congo fight, obviously, yes, he got hit pretty hard. Okay, he got hit hard, was stunned, and he still took Czech Congo down. Now, don't get me wrong, I know Czech Congo has weak takedown defense, but still, that's got to show you that, if you can take, Czech Congo's punches, then, you have a pretty good chin. Now, with that said, he's fighting a totally different fighter. He's not fighting a Czech Congo. He's not fighting a Ben Rothwell. He's fighting the legend, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. And I think this fight he gets a lesson. I think Antonio Rodrigo, even though Cain Velasquez has the takedown defense, the takedowns where he picks you up and then he moves your legs to the side and then he takes you down, ends up in the side control. Both fighters, Rothwell, Czech Congo, Brad Morris, all of his Cain Velasquez's opponents did not know what to do. Now, if Cain Velasquez does that to Nogueira, Nogueira obviously knows what he's going to do. I think he's going to easily get back into the guard. And I think that's what's going to happen. And to be honest, I do see Cain Velasquez taking Nogueira down. I really do. And but I'm going to say in the second round, he's going to get an armbar. No, I'm going to say armbar. I'm going to say Cain Velasquez is going to get caught in an armbar late in the second round. So there you go. I think Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira wants to keep this standing, but Cain Velasquez does have the wrestling abilities to take Nogueira down. But that's going to be bad news for Velasquez, as I'm going to predict Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira pulls off a submission victory over Cain Velasquez in the second round. So there you go. There's my predictions. Main bouts I'm going through them. Rothwell, first round TKO. Referee stoppage, late first round. Jardine, Ryan Bader, unanimous decision. I think he's going to continue to take Jardine down. All 3 rounds, wins 30-27. Joe Stevenson, unanimous decision over George Sotiropoulos. I will not be surprised if Sotiropoulos does get the upset here, though. Wanderlei Silva, first round KO of Michael Bisping. Just because I don't think Michael Bisping has learned from his mistakes. And if Bisping does win, it will be by decision. But I'm going to pick Wanderlei Silva, first round KO. And in the main event, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira hands Cain Velasquez his first loss. Second round submission. I'm going to say an armbar. So there you go. Saturday, February 21st, UFC 110. There's my predictions. I'm done.